one of you already use a DePIN device at his home? Nice. But that's not yet enough because you're missing out. In essence, this is the blockchain economy. It is the place where things are built and where you find really nice, interesting concepts. We have also hear people from weather exam who are doing weather sensorics. And this is like a very long-proven concept where you basically, you get your own tensor and you have access to two things. You get a reward for being a contributor of the data, but you also have access to a very good with weather prediction metrics. Those things always have a more than one use case, and they also reward you for participating. I know my way around this because I own from 90 projects over 2,800 devices. DePIN topic, and I also work for Arkreen network. And I will make it rather quick to tell you what Arkreen network is about. I won't bore you with all the details. This presentation, everyone can ask from me later on, because it has a lot of details, and if I walk you through all of it, your ears will be. If you talk with me longer than 20 minutes, your ears will also be, because I am very passionate about it, but I will guide you in the most simplistic way through. So after core, Arkreen was a project which put energy monitoring from people's houses solar to reward them from it. This trickles over into like dual setup with RWAs as the real world assets, as represented by homeowners. Images that are shown are voluntary contributions by these community members. We don't incentivize them to give their own photos of location, while the location is hidden. People with their own solar in such a project are very passionate, and they will gladly contribute something to play a part in the bigger ecosystem around it. Like a Wi-Fi to Zigbee bridge, and this is how we monitor the solar and reward those users for it. Naturally, everyone knows the benefits of solar. I don't list them. It goes over into how it plays into the Web3 part, which makes it actually even better because you have direct access to the economic benefit. This is just like an example of many setups that we have and how we, as one part, but we also have a power plant that does consumption tracking, and this builds an economy in our community where the one people with solar will be rewarded for a green energy metric, and the others that have a plug can use this same currency to offset the consumer appliances they use. This was the first level. We have a whole ecosystem around it, but this ecosystem goes further where Arkreen doesn't earn on hardware. Arkreen doesn't earn on selling your personal thing that Arkreen earns on, and then we build our structure with the little set service fees with all kind of transactions with making our ecosystem. So every time someone issues something from a solar panel or someone consumes something with a plug, he will pay a micro service fee, and this is actually how we sustain our company. But the consumption of the devices only play a small role. We also have an on-chain climate action portal. Our target markets, this is very corpus-rich. I will go over that, but essentially we want to market to everyone and target everyone. That's the short idea of it. We will soon release a DePIN device that no one has seen probably because it will be a 145 kilogram DePIN device. This comes from the fact that we partnered with a very traditional capture, which is called E123. They are mostly known for the batteries, Rover, Aston Martin, to some degree in Formula E. They are very experienced, and they also have an Asian/European background in their business model. And we partnered with them. And this is, by the way, I made in front of my Christmas tree last year, because I was the first to receive one. A very nice benefit of working in the edge of this technology. So, those are the core metrics that we have, the climate actions we did, the climate esters that list the climate actions, and how much of the Bitcoin blockchain we already agreed. Because the whole history of Bitcoin is written on its own blockchain. Every single block that was ever found on Bitcoin has the information in it how much global energy was consumed to mining. What we took upon ourselves already 2 years ago is we wanted to solve the biggest problem in Web3 in general, because everyone is adjacent to Bitcoin, but no one took the task of actually offsetting the pollution that comes with mining Bitcoin in the past. Nowadays, it's pretty transitioning so much to renewable energy, especially since Africa has a huge hydropower station in Ethiopia. A lot changed, but there are some past things that we want to fix, and we encourage also other blockchains to help participate in this task. So, but how do those climate actually look? They look consume, you do it. You off. And why many Web3 users like to do it is draw, put that on, but also there is a reward. So it is a little bit like whoever knows the Pixel Wars. We took a core idea from there and spin it with a few low canvas pieces, which people can choose the colors and draw something with. We have part of their offset through our solutions. Also, the other representative things here didn't do offset through our solution. We experimented with the wallet integrations of them and partially made it. We are currently experimenting with where this goes, but Arkreen is always a project engineering every day. So we had all those wallet integrations, but which one we will pivot to next, then still another. You can work which basically breaks through monopoly of chips to repurpose old chips and make micro Bitcoin. And we're even in the stage of not only doing historic offset of Bitcoin blockchain, but we're exploring how we can do it in real time in actual Bitcoin mining. So, and lastly, on this kind of thing, I will introduce one thing for everyone here. We always try to do new and interesting things. And one of this is our remote network. In the world of people, a little bit interesting because most projects have their own token. They have to care for their own token. But this will actually reward the owner. Someone who has the money for the setup. It's not very expensive. It will be directly to African communities where there is demand for small device charging, like phones, like running lights, like whatever. Africa is pretty a common system where the grid is that you pay small fees, access to an electricity. And how we design the system is that someone is the sponsor of the system. We already have the host, like the show owner or someone in the open. And use the only African native payment system called M-Pesa or also on-chain to get the charging price is lower than anyone else in that region. And at the time, the whole owner who cares for the battery, the solar, the caps from the person who sponsored the setup will get an ROI that is guaranteed because it's very stable. So, the one big announcement, we targeted Africa because it's a big emerging market. There are a few slides that explain exactly how it works and how individual sockets can be set free for people. But basically, that is all based on existing technology from a very well-known battery manufacturer, our expertise that we built in the last 2 years, and some innovative creators in Africa that introduced us to the M-Pesa payment system and made a version of it where basically someone can pay offline with their phone, and at the same time, the transaction will be caught through the SIM provider to be put instantly on chain and reward the participants with stablecoin. And the rest of this presentation is only diving into the aspect of the battery, because this is also something which was picked up by NGO. And this presentation that I fast forward here is also designed for NGOs. And you can always ask me to get direct access to it. It's a public. You can also ask for my contact if you want leading ears. Otherwise, there are QR codes, or ask me after the presentation.